Welcome back to JPTV. I'm Anders Morgan.
And I'm Jake Vineyard. And William Dees with sports.
This week we've got the AP Art Show, Mardi Gras Trivia with Margie Fry, students, spring break plans, and baseball.
Myself and Ryan Groby talked to Annie Jicka, an AP Art student, about the AP Art Show on Monday night, as well as her particular art pieces.
Hello, everyone. I'm joined today by Annie Jicka. She is here with the AP Art program at Prep. And just this past week, the AP Art Show was held here in the library, in the little art gallery that we have. Annie, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we have 22 AP Art students this year, which is, I think, the most we've ever had. It was a lot of artists. And so AP Art is a class that you can take at Prep, either as a junior or a senior. Mostly seniors do it. But we did have 3 juniors, I believe, this year. And so basically you have your art style, like your art portfolio that you're trying to build. And so everyone has their own style. Everyone has a study they're trying to do. So you pick your study and you work your art all around that. And Dr. Miller she's so awesome. She gives you the freedom to do basically whatever you want to within your study. And so the art show was a way to show the rest of the Prep family, Prep community, to be able to show them the art that you're working on for your art portfolio that we will be turning into the AP board up in, I don't know where it is, like Indiana? Yeah. Somewhere. We're going to be turning it into them and having them judge it and give us a score out of 5 based on like the AP scoring. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So with the art show, you talked about how it's like, you work on sort of your style throughout the entire time of you being in the class. So for the AP Art Show, what was your style?
My style. So I love to paint, but I've also been interested in like filmmaking and like motion. So I was like, all right, how can I try to merge those two things? So my study is motion and painting. Okay. So I started a little bit last year. Last year I took just like the normal art portfolio class. It wasn't AP. So I did some painting with that. And so like one of my pieces that was in the show is my sister when she was a baby, and then my dad or my grandpa in the background riding a bike. And if you look at some of my other pieces, I'm just trying to figure out how can I show this person is moving in the picture. Yeah.
Now, so I obviously I went to the AP Art Show. It was absolutely fantastic. There was one painting I wanted to talk about in particular. It's like it's a hillside, and there are like multiple shots of the same person running down a hill. Could you explain that?
Yeah.
Just want some clarification for everyone.
So the name of the painting is oh wait, I already forgot what I named it. I named it recently. I think it's called I think it's Running Downhill. I'll double check it out.
It is running downhill though. Don't worry.
I think it is.
Yes.
Yes, it's running downhill. Yes. Okay. So it's based off of, like, most of my paintings are based off of photos I already had. So it's when I was little, I think I was around 7 years old, my mom took a bunch of pictures of me running down a hill in the Lake District of England. And so, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm running downhill, and she took multiple pictures of me running. And so I took those pictures, and like you can see me like in different like positions of the photo. So I was like, all right, I'll merge them all together and like, so you can see where I'm going down the picture. So you can see me kind of motion. And then my sister is also in the background. She has like a little blue jacket on. So I did multiple of her. So you can see that kind of idea of she's moving. Okay. And then a little sheep too. There's a little sheep in there.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Ferguson Fry
Wonder Why
is back this week with a Mardi Gras trivia game. Margie is the host, and Sela and Dylan Burkhalter are the contestants.
Welcome back to Ferguson and Fry Wonder Why, where this week we're going to play a game, which is trivia, and it's going to be Mardi Gras themed. So we have our contestants, Dylan Burkhalter and Sela Ferguson, who is our other fellow host, and I'm Margie Fry, so I'm going to be the host and ask the questions. So obviously I know how to play trivia, so it's going to be A, B, C, and D, and then this is the button you press when you think you know it. Okay, so the first question is, where was the first known carnival celebration? A, France, B, Italy, C, America, or D, Rome?
France.
A? That's right. Okay, 1 point to Dylan.
I just hit it.
Okay, number 2. What day comes after Mardi Gras? A, Easter, B, Good Friday, C, Ash Wednesday, or D, Halloween?
Ash Wednesday. No.
Oh, Sela. Okay, another one to Dylan.
What? I did it. I said it.
It's okay, but she pressed it first.
No, she didn't. Look at my hand mark.
That one goes to Dylan. Okay, number 3. When was the earliest known carnival celebration? A, 1300, B, 12,904, C, 1555, or D, 1800s?
1800s.
Wrong.
Let me go 1500s and whatever you said, 55.
That is also wrong.
Oh boy. Then the second one.
Oh, goody.
Second one? You gotta press it.
Oh,
Second one.
Okay, B. Yep, another point to Dylan. Okay.
that doesn't count.
It's okay, it's okay. What is the, you gotta keep it up. No, it's fine. What is the signature Mardi Gras dessert? A, king cake, B, beignets, C, cinnamon rolls, or D, pie?
King cake.
Yes, okay. 1 point for Sela. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
What is traditionally hidden inside a king cake?
Baby.
That was totally
Oh,
me.
we gotta wait for the,
That was me.
that was you though. A, beads, B, crown, C, tooth, D, plastic baby.
There are sometimes some beads in there.
Yeah, there is. But it was plastic baby, so that one goes to Sela. So it's
Are we
what?
tied yet?
No. Okay, number 6. What is the most popular food on Fat Tuesday? A, cake, B, pancakes, C, grapes, or D, strawberries?
Pancakes?
Yes. That was good.
Wow.
That was a hard one. Okay, I think y'all are tied now.
Taylor, you're impressing me.
I didn't know.
That was good. So 7, how many pounds of beads are thrown during an average New Orleans Mardi Gras celebration? A, 50 million pounds, B, 100,000 pounds, C, 1,000, or D, 25 million?
100,000 pounds.
D.
Yes. What, 25 million?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Okay.
Second guess.
Okay, so
wasn't
we're
thinking.
on to question 8, which is the
She's
last
in the
question.
lead.
I think you need one to tie it, and then
What would
Sela.
we do after that?
If you tie it, we can have a special question tiebreaker.
Okay.
So number 8, Mardi Gras beads are used to be made up of what material? A, glass, B, plastic, C, copper, or D, steel?
Plastic.
Glass.
It's glass. Alright, Sela won. I would give you a prize, but we don't have one. Alright, next week we'll be back with Ferguson Fry Wonder Why with another segment.
Yes.
Cameron Moore went on the streets to find out what students were doing for their spring break.
Still Snoop Dogg and D.I. Guess who's back?
Alright, I'm here with Chris. Chris, what are you doing for spring break?
For spring break, I am going to Orange Beach, and then I'm going to New York. I've never been to New York, so I'm pretty excited, and yeah, can't wait to have fun.
Alright, thank you. Alright, Miss Watts, what are your plans for spring break?
I'm taking a group of teenagers, a group of sophomores and juniors, to Italy for 10 days. We're going to Rome and Florence and Sorrento. We're going to walk through the streets of Pompeii. We're going to see the Colosseum, the Forum. We're going to have a cooking class, learn how to make some Italian pasta and some desserts. And we're going to see some amazing artwork, the Italian Renaissance. You know, it was home with the Italian Renaissance started in Florence, and they've got the Roman Empire, so you can just see everything, the history of Italy through the centuries.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Caroline. So Caroline, what are you doing for spring break?
I'm going skiing
You going skiing?
in Colorado.
Is it gonna be fun?
It's gonna be great.
Alright, Josh, what are you doing for spring break?
I'm actually going to Florida. I'll be visiting family and even going to the Orlando Park.
Alright, Miss Hebner, what are you doing for spring break?
So I'm actually going to Hawaii with 3 of my friends. really excited. We're going whale watching. We're going to a luau. We're going to go to Pearl Harbor, which I'm pretty excited about too.
All right, thanks.
We'll be right back with sports after this quick commercial break.
The Patriot Shop. We got everything. We got sweatshirts. We got athletic shirts. We got sweatpants. We got socks. And we got bags. Has your back ever hurt during a game? We can solve that problem. We have stadium chairs. We got you covered all the way from winter to summer attire. The Patriot Shop. We've got everything.
Welcome back for another week in the Jackson Prep world of sports. To get things started, let's take a look at baseball. On Friday, your boys took on St. Aloysius Academy. The Patriots would explode in the third inning, scoring 10 runs. These runs would be enough to secure the run rule after the third inning, as the Patriots would reign victorious 13-3. On Saturday, Hernando rolled into town to try to bring the Patriots' winning streak to a halt. Many have had the same goal in the past, but few have been successful. And due to Connor Griffin's 10 strikeouts and Trey Bridges' 3-run homer, it was the same story for Hernando. The Patriots would win by run rule again, 10-0. The team will play 3 back-to-back games to end this week, starting with Central Hines on Thursday, Tupelo High School on Friday, and a doubleheader against Starkville Academy on Saturday. Now on to basketball. In the quarterfinal, your girls team faced Central Hines at Prep on Friday. Both Andy Flatgard and JC Duncan had the hot hand, scoring 14 points apiece to lead the Patriots to a 38-28 win. With this win, they advanced to the semifinal, where they took on a very strong Bowling Green team. This one came down the wire when one of the players from Bowling Green drew a foul from behind the arc to hit 3 straight free throws to send the game to overtime. However, your girls wouldn't be fazed by the moment and would hold on to win 41-36. Andy Flatgard with 13 and Olivia Smith with 10 led the team in scoring, and Kendi Sanders grabbed an impressive 8 rebounds. Like the girls, the boys team has also been making their run in the overall championship. On Friday in the second round, they took on Collegiate Christian from the coast. The Patriots would have only a 4-point lead going into half, but would maintain their lead throughout the second to win 45-37 and advance to the semis. In the semis, Prep played Greenville Christian Saints, led by the tournament's leading scorer, DeAndre Primetime Smith. Prime could never get anything going, mostly in part to the best student section in the state, reminding him, and Walker Craddock dropping 16. Both of these played a huge part in the Patriots winning by 18 in a 41-23 victory. This Wednesday night, both teams played the game they have been waiting and preparing for all season long in the overall championship. The girls faced off in a revenge game against Leak Academy, who beat them to remove them from the tournament play last year. Just like their semifinal game, it was a nail-biter all the way to the final buzzer. Even though Leak, led by junior point guard Miriam Prince, possessed a lot of firepower on the offensive side, your girls were able to hold them to 0 field goals during the last 6 minutes of the game. With the combination of that resilient defense and Julia Stradinger's clutch free throws with 2 seconds remaining, your Lady Patriots would hold on and be named the 2022 MAS overall champions. After that game was played, your boys team took the court for their chance at a championship immediately after against Jackson Academy. Your Patriots came out of the gate hot with Cam Brent patrolling the court and had McLeod knocking down 3-point shots from deep, ending the quarter with a 12-point lead. This momentum for the Patriots would never cease, and the boys team will win it all 43-32. And this is actually the first time since 1981 that both your girls and boys teams have won both state and the overall tournament. With that being said, we'll be right back with more news after this quick commercial break.
Jackson Prep. It's a place for artists, a place for scholars,
a place for athletes,
an all-around amazing place
to be who you are and all that you aspire to be.
Discover your Jackson Prep possibilities.
Join us for a tour.
Peter Downing and Dylan Burkhalter talked to Mr. Hughes about the current events unfolding in Ukraine.
With all of the information coming out of Ukraine, coming out of that area of the world, and coming out in the news sources here in the U.S., what are you looking at as far as what can be considered accurate? What isn't accurate in the day and age of media where we're trying to get everything out first, not be accurate?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, certainly in our current era, rapid media and the rise of social media has meant that there's a lot of misinformation out there, some of it inadvertent, some of it deliberate. And of course, in wartime, you always have a lot of propaganda, and some of which is true, some of which is false, some of which is spun. And so those two things going together means that you really ought to be very cautious about the news that you receive about what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and look for corroboration from several different sources. Look for points of commonality among different media, particularly media coming from different places geographically and philosophically, and then you sort of take a lot of incredible claims with a grain of salt, because very often after the fact we find out that they were half-truths or sometimes complete lies.
And leading into, speaking from talking about NATO, the relations there between us and the U.S., do you think that if Ukraine falls, if the Russians occupy Ukraine, could we see a further invasion into Europe, possibly a NATO country? People are speaking of Poland.
I wouldn't take anything off the table, but I think that the president, as every president before him has made clear that an attack on a NATO country would be tantamount to an attack on us. And I think that the stakes are so much higher that even Putin and his current advisors would probably be loath to launch a direct attack on a NATO country. What he would like to do clearly is to prevent more countries from getting into NATO and to weaken NATO as much as possible. But I kind of doubt that a direct attack on a NATO country is in the cards. I hope not.
And I'm sure that one of the reasons you could be added to the list of the invasion of Ukraine is the thought that they're weighing the options of joining NATO, and Russia doesn't want to see any more of their western border countries do that. What involvement could we see now and in the future from the United States?
Well, involvement from the United States could come in a lot of different forms. I think direct military engagement with Russia is unlikely. That we would be loath to do that the same reason that they would, because of the nuclear issue. I think increasing U.S. support for people fighting against what we might call Russian imperialism is probably on the table. Now, you mentioned a draft. I don't think that would happen unless we were in a big land war. And the two countries that come to mind that we might get in a big land war with are Russia and China, both of which are nuclear powers. So that sort of direct warfare could go nuclear long before we needed millions of soldiers. So just kind of a bleak thought. But I don't think that if we didn't reinstate a draft in the post 9/11 era, when we were fighting two relatively major wars at the same time in Afghanistan and Iraq, I don't think we're anywhere close to reinstating it now. I don't think there's much popular support for that, and so I don't see that happening.
Bradley Carter and Anders Morgan talked to students regarding the different aspects of March Madness.
Today I'm here with Garner Watkins. Garner, can you tell me a little bit about what March Madness actually is?
So it's 64 of the best college basketball teams in the country, and they play in a tournament, and I think there's 8 rounds, and they just play until there's a winner.
Who are you going for?
I really don't care.
What does the winner get?
A trophy, I think.
All right. Today I'm here with Matthew Cochran. Matthew Cochran, who is going to win March Madness?
Gonzaga, because that Czech guy goes hard. He goes real hard.
Real hard. Today I'm here with Sam Graves. Sam Graves, what is your strategy for making your March Madness bracket?
Basically, I'm going to pick the better team, and then on one or two of them, I'm going to just pick the underdog, and just kind of randomize it. I don't know much about it, but that's what I'm doing.
So very random, right?
Very random. But I'm going to win.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that?
I'm the best.
For sure. Tori, what do the teams need to do in order for them to win?
They need to work hard and play as a team.
Nice, thank you. Antonio, can you tell me a bit about March Madness?
I'm going to be honest, don't know too much, but I think Bama's going to win it all. They're the greatest to ever do it. They got J.D. Davidson. I've watched him play a little bit. He's a freshman. And he's carrying that team, putting them on his back. And them, Gonzaga or Baylor, they're winning it all. And that's my take. Have a great day.
And the question for y'all today is, what does March Madness mean to you?
March Madness means to me 2 overall state championships coming back to prep, both winning in March.
For the first time in 41 years?
Absolutely.
41 years.
Yeah.
Both teams won. We won both the state tournaments and overall, as you can see.
Did y'all feel this madness in the month of March?
Oh, 100%.
For the 2 days of March, yes.
Yes. You know, you win, I've never experienced that feeling before. It's very special to run on the court with our teammates. We've worked hard for this.
Congratulations. Thank you for watching another episode of JPTV. We are your anchors, Anders Morgan,
Jake Vineyard, and William Dees covering sports. JPTV signing off.